youth, welcome back to the Faith Times 12 devotional. My name is Alysha and I am so excited to talk to you guys this morning all about evangelism. So we're going to start off by answering the question, what is evangelism? We're going to read Mark 16 verse 15. And he said to them, "Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation." So in this verse, Jesus is telling his disciples to go everywhere and tell everyone the good news about God. And so when we talk about evangelism, we're talking about the assignment that God gives to every disciple, including you and me, to go into the world and share his love. Evangelism is the assignment God gives to every Christian. And so the question that we're left to answer is, how do we evangelize in a way that is effective and loving? So I have 3 points to share with you guys that are going to help us to answer this question. Point number 1 is focus on friendships. I think sometimes when we think of evangelism, we think of like going up to random strangers and slamming a Bible in their face. And I just think evangelism is so much bigger than that. See, I actually believe that friendship is the key tool that God gives us for evangelism. See, being a good friend is actually an expression of the love of God that is going to set you apart from the world. And so I would encourage you to be a friend that is willing to journey with people. Whether your friends are unsure about God or they're at youth, or maybe they've even walked away from faith, be the friend that sticks by them. And just really practically, when we're talking about being a good friend, we're talking about being kind, sticking up for people, being loyal, being encouraging. These things alone are going to set you apart. They're going to cause your friends to see that there's something different in you. And that is going to open up the door for faith conversations. And so my next 2 points are all about how we can have these faith conversations really well. So point number 2 is focus on the way that you're speaking and not just the words you're saying. The way you're speaking, not just the words you're saying. See, I was in a friendship group a few years ago that was constantly having these big faith conversations. And this led me to a realization that I want to share with you guys. See, I realized that people won't always remember the words you say, but they will remember the way you make them feel. They won't always remember the words you say, but they will remember the way you make them feel. And that comes across in the way that we speak. 1 Peter 3 verse 15 has a lot to say about this. It says, "Always be prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for the reason for the hope that is in you, yet do so with gentleness and respect." And there's 2 things I want to point out in this verse. The first is that we are called to make a defense. We are called to defend our faith and not to attack people with it. And the second thing is this verse shows us that the key to a good faith conversation is gentleness and respect. And so now when I'm in a conversation with someone about God, I'm making sure that I am really listening to that person instead of planning the next thing I'm going to say. I'm focusing on acknowledging the way that they're feeling, on speaking calmly, on staying positive. And if at the end of that conversation, the other person walks away and they still don't agree with anything that I said, they are going to walk away knowing that Christians are loving and Christians listen well. What a good thing to be able to leave with someone. And I can walk away from that conversation knowing that I did my best to represent the character of God. And so my third point is to admit when you don't have the answers. See, some of us think that we are expected to be able to answer any question that anyone could ask us about faith. And that's just simply not the case. Like, God doesn't expect you to be able to answer things that some people literally spend their whole lives researching. And so just let yourself off the hook a little bit. When someone asks you a question you don't know the answer to, the most loving thing you can do for that person is actually just tell them that, rather than giving them an answer that's just kind of half true and is going to leave them more confused. And so I would encourage you, when someone asks you a question you don't know the answer to, just say to them, "Hey, I actually don't have a really good answer for you right now. Can I get back to you?" And I would challenge you to take that question to your small group leader or take it to Jason and Courtney. Find out an answer for them and then go back to them. Say, "Hey, I actually went and I looked into it a little bit. Can I just share some things that I learnt with you?" That alone is going to make that person feel so valued and so loved. And so finally, I just want to encourage you guys over these next few weeks, just be praying. Be asking God, who is it in my life that you want me to share your love with this year? Thank you so much for watching today. We would encourage you guys to look at the cheat sheet that's in the description box below. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll see you again tomorrow for Faith Times 12.